Chosen one, if you found this message, it is not by accident. This is not random. And this is not just encouragement. This message is confirmation. Many people believe the story ends when God finally rewards you with power. They think the breakthrough, the blessing, the anointing, that's the finish line. But listen closely. The reward is not the destination. The reward is the doorway. What happens after God rewards you with this power is far more intense, sacred, and life-altering than what happened before. This is the part nobody warned you about. This is the part only chosen ones experience. And this is the part heaven prepared you for in silence. Take a breath. Still your spirit. And let this message speak directly to the part of you that already knows. When God rewards you with this power, it doesn't arrive loudly. There is no trumpet sound. No public announcement. No sudden applause from the world. Instead, something inside you changes first. Your spirit becomes heavier, but not in a bad way. Heavier with authority. Heavier with awareness. Heavier with responsibility. You begin to notice. You can no longer tolerate what you once accepted. Conversations feel shallow. Certain environments drain you instantly. Noise becomes unbearable. Silence becomes sacred. This is because the power God gives you requires a new operating system. Your old way of thinking cannot carry this level of authority. So before the world sees anything, God rearranges you internally. One of the first signs you've received this power is how people respond to you without explanation. Some will become nervous around you, over-explain themselves, feel exposed in your presence, try to impress you, or suddenly distance themselves. You didn't say anything. You didn't do anything. You didn't change your personality. Yet everything feels different. That's because this power carries spiritual clarity. And clarity is uncomfortable for people who rely on confusion to survive. Your presence now reflects truth, without effort. You are no longer chasing respect. Respect reacts to you. Here is something very few people talk about. After God rewards you with this power, your need for validation disappears. You no longer feel the urge to explain yourself, defend your calling, convince people of your worth, argue your truth. Why? Because God seals your identity internally before He reveals it externally. You realize something powerful. Those who matter will recognize you. Those who don't were never assigned to you. And this is where your silence becomes louder than your words. Chosen one, after this power is activated, your discernment sharpens. You begin to sense motives before words are spoken, feel shifts before events occur, know when something is ending before it ends, recognize divine timing instinctively. This is not imagination. This is not anxiety. This is alignment. God doesn't give this power to control others. He gives it to protect you. So when something feels off, it is. When your spirit says wait, you wait. When it says move, you move. And the more you obey, the stronger the clarity becomes. Yes, chosen one. Isolation comes back. But this time, it doesn't feel like punishment. It feels intentional. God separates you again, not because you are broken, but because you are activated. This season of isolation is not about healing wounds. It's about stewardship of power. God teaches you when to speak, when to stay silent, when to move, when to wait. Because power without discipline becomes destruction. And God trusts you too much to let that happen. Chosen one, this is where things become unmistakable. After God rewards you with this power, reality starts responding to you faster than before. Not because the world changed, but because you did. Before this season, you could pray, hope, and wait, and still experience delay, resistance, or confusion. But now, your inner state becomes the command center. When your spirit is calm, situations soften. When your mind is clear, paths open. When your heart is aligned, people cooperate without force. This is not coincidence. This is spiritual authority activating in real time. Here's what most people don't understand. When God entrusts you with this power, your emotional state carries creative weight. If you operate from fear, things slow down. If you operate from impatience, obstacles appear. If you operate from peace, alignment accelerates. Not because God is punishing you, but because you are now co-creating consciously. This is why God trained you in emotional discipline before rewarding you. He had to make sure your reactions wouldn't sabotage your assignment. Chosen one, you may have noticed this already. You think about something, and it shows up. You sense a delay, and it manifests. You expect resistance, and it appears. You rest in trust, and doors open effortlessly. This can feel overwhelming at first. You might even ask yourself, why is everything responding to me like this now? Because this power requires internal mastery. You are no longer just reacting to life. Life is responding to you. This is why God now guards your peace so fiercely. He pulls you away from drama. He disconnects you from chaotic people. He limits unnecessary conversations. Not to isolate you, but to stabilize your inner world. Because when you are still on the inside, the outside aligns. Stillness becomes strategy. Silence becomes authority. Calm becomes influence. Pay close attention to what you say to yourself in this season. Your inner dialogue is no longer harmless background noise. It's instruction. If you speak delay internally, you experience delay externally. If you speak confidence internally, opportunities materialize. If you speak trust internally, outcomes rearrange. This is why God begins correcting your thoughts more sharply now. Not condemning you, but refining you. Another powerful shift happens here. People don't just listen to what you say anymore. They feel what you carry. You can walk into a room silently, and tension shifts. You can sit quietly, and conversations soften. You can observe, and truth surfaces. This is because your inner state has become atmospheric. You are no longer trying to influence. You are influence. Chosen one, this chapter is not about control. It's about alignment. God is showing you why peace is non-negotiable, why rest is strategic, why discipline matters, why emotional awareness is spiritual maturity. Because the more aligned you are internally, the more stable your external world becomes. This is also where God gently warns you. If you ignore your inner state, if you stay around chaos, if you allow unresolved emotions to linger, you will see it reflected quickly. Not to scare you, but to teach you responsibility. This power amplifies what you carry. So God invites you daily. Choose alignment. Choose peace. Choose awareness. Here is the truth few people ever realize. God didn't give you this power to control the world. He gave you this power to master yourself. And when you master yourself, the world has no choice but to respond. This is why your healing mattered. This is why your delays mattered. This is why your refinement was necessary. You are now operating from the inside out. I honor my inner state. I choose peace over pressure. I move with clarity and restraint. I align my thoughts, emotions, and spirit. And I trust what God is mirroring back to me. Chosen one. This chapter confirms something powerful. Your life is no longer random. It is responsive. And as you stay aligned internally, everything externally will follow. Chosen one, this chapter marks a sacred turning point. When God rewards you with power, He does not immediately put it on display. He watches. Not to test you, but to trust you. Because power reveals who you are when no one is watching. And this is where heaven leans closer. God does not hand you greater responsibility with noise. There is no public announcement. No sudden title. No visible crown. Instead, responsibility arrives as subtle assignments, quiet nudges, inner convictions, increased awareness. You begin to feel responsible for things you didn't before. The words you speak, the energy you bring into spaces, the people you allow close, the choices you delay or avoid. This is not pressure. This is promotion in disguise. Before God increases your reach, He examines your restraint. He watches how you handle influence without recognition, how you treat people who can't advance you, how you respond when misunderstood, how you behave when you could assert dominance, but choose humility. Chosen one, heaven values character over charisma, and you have been developing both without realizing it. This responsibility feels heavier, not because it's burdensome, but because you now see consequences. You realize your words can heal or harm. Your silence can protect or delay. Your obedience can unlock blessings for others. Your disobedience can block more than just you. This is maturity. This is awareness. This is why not everyone is trusted with this level of power. Chosen one, this is crucial. As responsibility increases, God begins deconstructing ego completely. Not to humble you publicly, but to protect you privately. He teaches you to serve without attachment to outcomes, to lead without control, to give without expectation, to correct without condemnation. You begin to move from obedience, not ambition, and heaven notices. Here is a deep truth. God doesn't first trust you with platforms. He trusts you with people. He sends broken souls, confused minds, quiet observers, unexpected connections. They are drawn to your steadiness. They feel safe around your clarity. They trust your presence, even if they don't understand why. This is responsibility at its highest form. God is not asking, "Can you be impressive?" He is asking, "Can you be faithful?" Faithful when unseen. Faithful when uncelebrated. Faithful when delayed. This is where many are disqualified. But you, chosen one, stayed consistent. As you prove trustworthy in hidden spaces, God begins expanding your reach. Opportunities align. Resources appear. Doors open unexpectedly. Not because you chased them, but because your integrity called them. Responsibility creates capacity. Capacity attracts increase. With greater responsibility comes sharper discernment. God becomes quicker to correct you. Conviction becomes clearer. Delays happen faster when alignment slips. Not as punishment, but as protection. Because the higher you rise, the fewer errors you can afford. Chosen one, understand this. God doesn't trust you with responsibility because you are perfect. He trusts you because you are teachable. You listen. You adjust. You repent quickly. You realign willingly. This is what heaven looks for. I accept the responsibility God is placing upon me. I lead with humility, wisdom, and obedience. I steward what is entrusted to me with care. I do not rush my promotion. I honor the weight of this calling. And I remain faithful in every assignment. Chosen one. If this chapter resonates deeply, it's because God is already trusting you with more. And what comes next will require everything you've become, not who you used to be. Stay grounded, stay obedient, and walk forward with reverence. Your responsibility is sacred. This is one of the most noticeable shifts. You no longer chase people, money, recognition, approval. Instead, what is meant for you finds you. Effort turns into alignment. Struggle turns into flow. Confusion turns into clarity. This is the reward of spiritual maturity. Eventually, you realize something profound. You don't need to announce who you are. You don't need to explain your journey. You don't need to convince anyone of your calling. Your presence carries the message. People feel calmer around you. Truth surfaces naturally. Healing happens unintentionally. This is what happens after God rewards you with this power. You become a living testimony, without trying. Chosen one, pause here. Do not rush this section. Do not skim. Do not multitask. This is not information. This is activation. Before you read another word, take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold it for a moment, and release it slowly. Let your body become still. Let your mind quiet. Let your spirit come forward. Because what you are about to speak is not symbolic. It is intentional alignment. This activation is not about asking for power. That power has already been given. This is about agreeing with what heaven has already decided. Agreement is the final key. When your words align with God's intention, resistance dissolves. So read this slowly. If possible, read it out loud. If not, let every word land deeply in your spirit. I acknowledge the power God has placed within me. I do not misuse it. I do not rush it. I do not hide from it. I choose wisdom over impulse. I choose obedience over ego. I choose alignment over approval. I release the need to prove who I am. I release fear of misunderstanding. I release attachment to outcomes. I accept my assignment without resistance. I trust God's timing without anxiety. I move when I am called, and I rest when I am told. I guard my inner world with reverence. I honor stillness as strategy. I treat peace as protection. I understand that this power is not for performance, but for purpose. I remain teachable. I remain grounded. I remain faithful in private and in public. I walk forward without fear, knowing that what God placed in me cannot be taken, copied, or corrupted. I am aligned. I am ready. I am willing. And I step fully into what has already been prepared for me. After reading this, sit in silence for at least 10 to 20 seconds. You may feel calm, emotion, warmth, stillness, or nothing at all. All responses are valid. Activation is not always emotional. Sometimes it is subtle realignment. Trust what just occurred, even if you can't explain it. After this activation, you may notice increased clarity in decisions, stronger discernment, reduced tolerance for distraction, a desire to simplify your life, a deeper pull toward obedience. These are confirmations, not coincidences. God does not activate and abandon. He activates and guides. Chosen one, remember this. You were not chosen because you were strong. You became strong because you were chosen. What you are stepping into will require patience, discipline, faith, stillness, and you already carry all of it. This activation is not the end. It is the moment you stopped resisting who you were always meant to be. If this activation resonated with you, do not explain it to anyone who hasn't experienced it. Some things are not meant to be debated. They are meant to be lived. Stay aligned. Stay humble. Stay ready. Heaven is not rushing you. Heaven is trusting you. And that trust changes everything.